Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Loops here. Today we're going to be installing some shifter bushings on the Forester. The shifter is super sloppy. I'll show you guys here in a sec, but I'm going to be throwing on essentially these bushings right here. So they're all from Torque Solutions. They're all for the 5-speed manual. They are different between a 5-speed and a 6-speed, so on and so forth. So make sure you guys get the correct bushings for your car. But yeah, we're gonna be throwing these on today. Hopefully correct that shifter slop. Yeah, let's get started with this. Hopefully I can get this done in under 2 hours. All right, as you guys can see, I have my car up on jack stands now. So I'm gonna lift up the front end. That's really all you gotta get up in the air, is just the front end. As far as tools goes, what you're going to want is you're going to want a punch. You're going to want some type of Allen key, pretty much to hold, there's gonna be like a little spring pin that you're gonna get out. It makes it easier if you have like an Allen key socket. That way you can kind of line up the cotter pin when you're gonna put the joint back in. You're gonna want some type of grease. What else? So yeah, 12 mil Allen key, you're gonna need a punch, some type of grease, and you're gonna want a flathead and some type of pry bar. And you might need a 12 mil wrench as well. So we're gonna get this knocked out real quick. This all gets done under the car. So I'm gonna show you guys how it's all gonna look and pretty much what we're gonna be taking off. All right, so there are gonna be multiple bushings you're gonna wanna replace if you do end up doing the whole job. There is this bushing right here. It's gonna be the backstay. So you have one and you have two 12s right there holding that in. And then once you follow that up over here, you are going to have your actual joint. So the shifter joint is gonna be another one of those things you're gonna wanna pretty much replace or do the bushings on. It's kind of hard to see exactly where it is, but once you follow pretty much this bar right here, you follow all the way down, and then your shifter joint's right there. Oh, you can see right here. So your shifter joint's right here. So you're gonna want to be replacing this piece right here. Either you're gonna replace it or just put the upgraded bushings and then pretty much call it a day for down here. And then there's gonna be more up top that you're gonna want to do as well, just to get the complete feel. So compared to my GC, this feels extremely sloppy. Like, yeah, it's super sloppy. So put it in first, super wiggly. Second, super wiggly. I just don't like the way that feels. I want it to feel kind of closer to GC, and the GC I have poly bushings all the way around. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with taking the whole bottom end apart. All right, so I got my tools set up here, and right off the bat, check this out, guys. So this right here is gonna be that joint. Look what happens when I actually move it around and shake it. That thing is super loose. Yeah, that whole joint, look at that. So that's gonna be pretty much the culprit as to why it feels extremely sloppy. But regardless, I'm gonna do all the bushings because, yeah, that's just the best thing to do. So yeah, so you're gonna have, it's gonna be so hard to record it, but you have a 12 here that you have to undo, and then there is a 12 right behind kind of where there's bars at. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a 12 right there as well. Two 12s that you get out, and then you can pretty much take out the little joint. You have to undo the 12 that's right here, right behind my finger, right here. And yeah, it's quite the process. It's not too hard. It'll probably take you an hour and a half. But yeah, all right, let's continue with the whole install. All right, and I did forget to mention that you will have to disconnect your actual shifter before you take that whole bar off in the bottom. So it's super easy to take off for your Forester, guys. So that little trim piece, it literally, you should pull it up from the back and then just undo the shift knob. Once you completely undo it, you can actually pull it out. As you can see, I didn't disconnect the harness. I'm just gonna like hang out there. And then you're pretty much gonna pop this off. I'm gonna show you guys how to get that done. Oh, essentially you're gonna take off these 4 screws. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can take those off and then take the dust cover off. And then essentially there's gonna be a 12 with a 12 nut. You can do that. You can take this piece out. And that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy. This one, you're actually gonna pull this out. You kind of just pull it back, yank on it all the way down, and then it'll pop this out of place. All right, so once you get that stuff out, you're pretty much gonna focus on getting the two 12s are here out. So 12 and then 12, and then pretty much this bolt is gonna come out, and then you can pull this thing out of here. So yeah. All right, so I got the 12 millimeter bolt out. So now pretty much from here, this right here, you can just pretty much take off. So like I said, the easiest is typically just kind of just swing it back, and then it'll typically pop on off. So you just have to give it some force. So we'll go ahead and give that a shot. So yeah, I'll show you guys when I have this thing out of here. I had forgot that I already loosened the two 12s in the bottom, so it's gonna be super difficult to get this thing out of here. So I'm just gonna leave it like this and just take the whole shifter out with it. This actually has the factory short shifter. So this is a factory short shifter that came on these Foresters when you did order them brand new. Pretty cool to see. I have the whole paperwork of the purchase and everything, and the window sticker, and it was optioned out with the OEM short shifter from Subaru. So that's what it looks like. It's pretty cool. We'll go ahead and get the whole shifter assembly out and continue on forward with the video. All right, so I got the shifter off, so you don't even have to like really pull on it or anything. You kind of just flip it around and then just pull it back, and then it'll pop out of the little socket right there, and then you should be able to get the rest of your stuff done here. So yeah, it should be smooth sailing from here. I think the punch is probably going to be the hardest part, to be honest with you guys. So now those two right there, so there's one on that side and one on the other side, those are out. So now you should be able to pull the linkage on out. All right, and I'm gonna have to pull it. I'm gonna have to pull this with the whole entire shaft on the top. So yeah, so we'll get this pulled out, and then once we get that pulled out, we're gonna focus on getting the actual joint right there out next. We're gonna need a punch for that one, so just be aware you need a punch and hammer. All right, so now this is pretty much ready to go. That grommet right there, you pretty much just pull it off, and then after that, bam, this thing should be able to come out. Oh, come on. I'm gonna have to, of course, there you go. All right, so now this thing's able to come out. So we got one piece off. We're gonna have to put the upgrade bushings on this, and then the upgrade bushing on that right there. And now we just gotta focus on getting this one out. So pretty much it's gonna be the 12s right there. You might have to, I don't know if you're gonna have to undo the actual, the whatchamacallit, the spring pin, because we're actually just replacing the bushings inside of that right there. We're not actually changing other parts, we're just changing out the little bushing. So yeah, we'll see. Just got the shifter linkage out, took the little pin out from the center, and then it pulls out. And this is how it came out. There is literally, let me get this part real quick. There's no bushing in there. It completely disintegrated. That's why it felt so sloppy. And then this one right here, I'm gonna replace the bushing in the back. So pretty much you just get your you get these and you pretty much just insert them, and it's that easy. This one's gonna be for the actual shifter, and then this is for the shifter linkages right here. So yeah, should be pretty straightforward from here. All right, so then from here, pretty much just get your old joint, and you're gonna essentially pop these bushings out. So just one sleeve still in there, so hopefully just pop that out. You can already see how like they just like disintegrate. So yeah, so it's a good thing getting these changed out. So now that I got this sleeve out, I'm gonna have the other sleeve which fell out, and pretty much we're gonna insert the new bushings in there, lube them up just a little bit, and then yeah, pretty much just set everything up here. All right, so now I have the 4 bushings out. You're gonna lube them up just a little bit. It doesn't have to be an extreme amount, but just a little bit. So all right, cool. And pretty much the way this is gonna work is that they're just gonna insert in there and go grab a rag. All right, so as I was saying, so they're just going to insert in there. So just take them, pop them in. There's one, and then obviously just make sure they seat flush. But yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward. Like I mean anybody should be able to do this too. And yeah, we'll just make sure that they seat flush, because yeah, if they don't seat flush, then it's gonna obviously give you issues with shifting and, you know, kind of the feel. So yep, so what we're probably gonna do is probably set them on the floor, or I'll probably get like some pliers and just squeeze them down. But yeah, we'll put these on and then we'll throw on the ones in the back. So I just ended up using the hammer pretty much to do that. So now lube up these shafts. You want to make sure that, you know, they do have some smooth contact in there. Yes, just lube these things up. You might want to clean them a little bit. If they feel a little rough, just like sand them down. I might have to do that to this one. Actually, it really feel all that great. So probably gonna get like some sandpaper and just sand it down. Probably just use a blade too. I mean, a blade would work. Just kind of like leftover material, as you can see. So yeah, pretty much all the leftover material I'm just gonna take off. So all right, so now that I have this one all smoothened out, it scratches super easily, so I think it's aluminum, is probably why. But lube this thing up. Now what we're gonna do is go in here, slide them through, and then it should be pretty easy to get them in there. If not, you'll kind of have to just like want to readjust where the bushings are. But yeah, one went through real easy and the other one's kind of struggling, so I'm gonna see what's going on with this one right here. So once you get this all set up, then you move over to the back, and that's going to be where these two pretty much come to play. You have these two blue bushings that replace these, and then this back bushing is replaced by this one right here. So pretty straightforward. Pop this one on and then take these two off. I want to say, I think you could probably just pull them off. Let's see here. I swear on my GC was a lot easier, but yeah, we're gonna pull these off. I'm gonna put those blue ones in there and then put the back one on, and then we'll go back to reinstalling this whole kit. All right, and then once you get to this bushing out, you're gonna pretty much put these in there. I would just lube them up just a little bit and then just put them in there, and then lube with this one just a little bit, just kind of a little bit right here, and then just slide it in there, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. Install isn't too hard. Like, so I think the hardest part of this install is probably getting that spring pin out. That's I'm not gonna lie, I was having quite some trouble trying to get that done, so just be aware of that. Yeah, that's not fun at all. But yeah, once you get that on there, slide it on. All right, just like so, and there you go. That is installed and ready to go. So yeah, so now back here, I'm gonna go ahead and take that out. Just put some grease right here. It'll make it easier to slide it in. And then you first just slide the thing in there. So make sure that this just goes in first. All right. You gotta remember this is polyurethane, so it's gonna be a lot harder to get on. There you go. All right, and we're pretty much ready to put everything back together. So I'm gonna go back into the car and pretty much just reverse the process of what I just showed you guys. So everything under there is done. So now this is the last piece. So essentially, what you're going to do is you're gonna put these two inserts where those blue ones are, and that should be pretty much it. So we'll see. All right, so you can get these two. Of course, you're gonna put some grease on them, slide them through, just like so. All right, so you're gonna clean the excess off, just like so. And that's pretty much it. And then from in here, you wanna make sure that you put the boot back on to the actual shifter assembly. And then this, pretty much you just smack it in. So that I do know, you smack this bolt in there and then pretty much bolt up the 12 and you should be good to go. All right, so I was trying to rotate through some gears to see like how everything felt, and it wasn't wanting to go into fourth or into second. I realized that the bushing that they give you for the backstay, which is the one that's like located right here, so with the two bolts that goes through that holds the actual rod in place, that doesn't seem to really fit the Foresters all that well, especially this version of the SG. So just be aware, if you do throw a short throw shifter on, the bushing for the back might not fit. As soon as I put the stock one back on there, it worked perfectly fine. So let me show you guys real quick here. So that bushing right there is the one that didn't fit, so just be aware, everything else fit. I'm not gonna lie, the linkage is a little stiff, which I don't really like it doesn't really pop into neutral how it usually does, but it does a job, and it is pretty it feels more I guess it gives you more confidence. So yeah, I mean, it feels good overall. It's just the only thing I didn't like was just that it didn't actually fit when it came to that rear bushing stay, so just be aware of that. Other than that, it went pretty smoothly after I figured out my whole issue with trying to get the freaking spring clip out because that thing was just battling me. It was not fun. Other than that, everything else went smoothly. As soon as I figured out that I wasn't going to fourth, I just put that rear mainstay, the OEM one, and worked perfectly fine. So if you guys are gonna do the bushings, I would say just get an OEM rear stay bushing, whatever. Just get an OEM one and just call it a day. Yeah, those rarely go out too. So, but yeah, I'm gonna put the rest of the interior together, and I think that should be pretty much it. All right, so the bushings are all installed now. This feels really similar to the GC now. Look at that. Like, not really any play. Not really any play. Not really any play. Not really any play. Not really any play as well. And then obviously for reverse it can be kind of a hassle, but yeah, it feels way better now, and it's actually super notchy. Like, it's super notchy. I love it. It's a little stiff right now. I'm hoping that it gets softer over time, but yeah, I mean, I would say this was overall a success. Kind of frustrating, but it was a success. All right, so to end this video, the install, it's fairly easy if you have the right tools and if you have the right part. This is the part that didn't fit on the Forester. It was not wanting to go into fourth gear, and it was barely wanting to go into second gear. This was literally the reason why. So just be aware, you might have that issue if you do end up installing it with this rear stay bushing. It might work for others, I don't know, for some reason it just didn't work for me. Once I put the other one back on, it worked perfectly fine. So I don't know, regardless, the shifter feels perfect now. It literally has like no play. I appreciate you guys so much for watching the video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell your homies about the builds that are going on here, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you guys have a great night. So other than that, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later. All right, peace.